My name is Alan DeCristoforo, and I live right here in New Castle, Pennsylvania.
Okay, Alan, you're well aware of what's going on in Harrisburg, that they're taking away choice, and that that they say that isn't really something you need over the items they're taking away. But we say that by removing choice, they're removing control. How important is consumer control to you?
Let me tell you about consumer control and choice. And I've heard a lot of my friends up here talk about freedom. And it is freedom. I think Mr. Fisher, who just talked before me, said what I was going to say. It's about my life. Let me tell you why it's about my life. You listen to this closely. January 29th of 2000, at 2 o'clock in the morning, I had a tumor on my spine and it broke. Okay? They called my wife in to the operating room and they said, Mrs. DeCristoforo, you have to make a choice. Do you want us to let this poison go through your husband's system and let him die? Or do you want us to try to save him and he's going to spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair? To me, that's what happens when I let somebody else try to make a choice for me. When I let institutions and governmental bureaucrats make my choice, they would actually believe that it's better off for me to have died than to live life in a wheelchair. So I've seen what institutions think about my choice, and I don't pretty much like it, because at that time I was a 34-year-old guy. I had 4 kids and a wife. I had just graduated from seminary. I started being a pastor, and I got struck down with this. And what was the first choice they gave me? Oh, would you prefer to die or live in a wheelchair? I spent 8 months in rehab places. I spent 8 months in a nursing home. I know what I'm talking about. Governor Corbett, look up the Pennsylvania records. My name is Alan DeCristoforo. Spell it just like it sounds, no H. You will see that the nursing home that I was in was cited by the state of Pennsylvania for not caring for me. The last 3 days I spent in that nursing home, there was nothing put in my chart, which means they did nothing. I was shipped down to West Penn Hospital in Pittsburgh, and I was told by my doctor that if I'd have got there an hour later, I would have died from loss of blood. I was bleeding into my catheter in a nursing home, and they did nothing about it. Don't tell me about nursing homes and home care. It's my life. This means a lot to me. I have 4 kids who love me. My oldest son is 22. Alan is 22. Michael is 19. Louis is 17. And my youngest daughter is about to turn 16. On June 13th, my wife and I will be celebrating 25 years of marriage. 12 years ago, an institution wanted to take that all away because they thought my life would be better off dead than living in a wheelchair. Dawn Services employs around 300 people. You mess with us, you're putting 300 people out of work. You want to put me back in a nursing home? In a nursing home, they gave me drugs to keep me quiet. That's all they wanted to do. Keep him quiet. We don't care what he does. We don't care about changing him. We don't care about moving him. We don't care about making him better. Keep him quiet. Well, you've already heard and heard and heard that it costs 1/3 less to keep me at home than it does to keep me in a nursing home. Well, let me tell you something. I get better care at home. I've got 3 attendants that work with me. Kenny Rice is one of my attendants. He is one of the best men I have ever met on this planet. He is a good, upstanding man, and he cares about me. He is there every time I need him. He gives me the freedom to choose what I need, but he's there to make sure I don't get hurt, to make sure that I can get dressed, that I can get up, that I can get this stuff done. I want to tell you something, Governor Corbett, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it to you, and I hope you can understand this, because to me, this is the simplest way I can put this. And I've told this story to other people, and I'm going to tell it to you. This country understands what I'm talking about. This world understands what I'm talking about living at home instead of a nursing home. Because I'll give you one small, simple example that I'm sure you can understand. You ever watched the story Toy Story 3? Those toys understood what this was about. They didn't want to go to a daycare center where they might get played with, they might get cared with. And that's what happens to people when you put us in a nursing home. The people in Hollywood understand that, and they made the movie. And the people in this world have put billions of dollars into buying into that idea. Well, guess what? Woody and Buzz are toys. They're animated characters. I'm a person. But they stood up and cheered for those characters when they got home to a place where they were played with by a person. They were Andy's toys. And they got a new girl at the end. But it was home. It was a place where they had one-on-one care. They understood it. And this world put money behind it. It's that simple. I'm better than an animated toy. And I deserve more respect than you guys are giving me. You look it up. And if you want to talk to me, you call me. My number's in the book. Alan DeCristoforo, New Castle, Pennsylvania. Anytime you want to talk, I'll be there.